Manchester United's fall off starts from the captaincy. They used to have the likes of Roy Keane, one of the best midfielders in Premier League history. And now you have this knob right here, Bruno Fernandes, now the captain of the mighty Manchester United. And look how it is, 0-0 in the second game of the Premier League. He's about to take a pen, and the referee bumps up a little bit. Nothing major, a little bump. Literally on accident, mate. On accident. He's making sure all the players are behind the line. And then he accidentally bumps Bruno Fernandes. He didn't know Bruno Fernandes was going to start backing up, to get a little bit of a space to take the pen. And Bruno Fernandes actually starts moaning about it. Grabs the referee's got it in his head on accident. That's how easy it is to get into Bruno Fernandes' head. That things like this get to him. He got so emotional. He skyrocketed the penalty and hit somebody's home, mate. This man, you would think he's a field goal kicker for the NFL the way he hit this pen. Jeez. Bruno Fernandes got rattled by the referee because he got a little bump. A little bump, mate. He was about to flop, but he forgot it was the ref. My man was about to flop, but he forgot he already had a pen. Jeez, but Bruno Fernandes here, like I said, the best thing for both parties of Bruno Fernandes and Man United is for him to be sold to Saudi Arabia. Now, why do I say this? Saudi's going to give them a minimum of 80 million for Bruno Fernandes, right? And Man United need the funds, in my opinion, because obviously they've had their situations where they are starving the kitmen. But not only that, they need to sign better midfielders. There is no way Casemiro, after the football has left them, Ugarte, who looks like an absolute player that is out of his depth in the Premier League. And then you got Kobbie Mainoo, who you just don't want to give him a minute. My man's looking like a homeless man saying, "You've got a penny to spare?" Because Mainoo just wants a minute on the pitch. Now, Bruno Fernandes letting him go allows Amad Diallo to get more minutes, allows Sesko to possibly be a starter, allows Mason Mount to get an opportunity in natural position, possibly Mainoo finally gets a minute on the pitch. And then you could get replacements for the likes of Casemiro, who definitely isn't going to be a Premier League starter for a Big Six club anymore. Ugarte isn't Big Six or even Big 10 quality at all. And then Kobbie Mainoo isn't getting any minutes because you have Bruno Fernandes. And according to Ruben Amorim, he sees Kobbie Mainoo in competition with Bruno Fernandes for minutes. That's absolutely insane to me. Kobbie Mainoo a year and a half ago, was starting at the Euros with England at a teenage age. And you're telling me now he's not good enough to be able to go to play above Ugarte, Casemiro 10 years after his prime, Bruno Fernandes, who's getting rattled by the referee, Kobbie Mainoo, and this is coming from a hater, a Man United hater, proud Man United hater, is an absolute exciting young talent. And if he's going to be for sale, I want my club to be on top of it. And Kobbie Mainoo genuinely could be the next raw talent. You've got Dalman and Ethan Nwaneri at Arsenal. You've got Estevao at Chelsea. You've got all these, you just got the Liverpool lad who scored the winner against Newcastle, Rio. You've got all these young talents. All of this young talent, right? And Man United have their very own. And they're pushing him out of the club. Now they say he has three options. Attempt to outplay Fernandes and take his spot. Who, honestly, Fernandes and Ugarte are going to be getting favoritism because they worked with Ruben Amorim at Sporting. Now, he could either wait for Ruben Amorim to not work out and get sacked and another manager comes in and actually takes advantage of his talent, or leave the boyhood club. And there's definitely teams out there like Chelsea, there's Arsenal, all these clubs that he could definitely make a difference with. And honestly, if they're going to stick with Ruben Amorim, Ruben Amorim's actually not going to be using Mainoo, and Bruno Fernandes is staying there for the season, if I'm Man United, I do a straight loan to a club. Because you are going to stunt this boy's growth. You are going to ruin him like you've ruined Marcus Rashford, like you ruined Anthony Martial, because he is at the point where he needs to be playing week in and week out, to develop. Maybe not a starter every single week, but at least some minutes. Give the man at least 20 minutes. But you've given him 0 minutes. And look, it's not like you're getting any better. You've got 1 point out of 6. And you've played Arsenal and Fulham. Back then, Fulham was the easy 3 points for United. Now, they're struggling. They picked the point out. This is where Man United's at. And you've got this young player, Kobbie Mainoo, who's turned up for you when you've given him an opportunity. And now you're not even looking his way. You've shunned him like Ronaldo. You shunned him like De Gea. You're shunning a guy with a ton of potential. And this is where the problem is with Man United, because you've got this guy representing Man United as a captain. And what has he given the club? Genuinely. Aside from an FA Cup and a Carabao Cup. And the mighty Man United, who were the first team in England to win a treble. Who were, the team that was always winning the Premier League back to back with the likes of Roy Keane, Beckham, Scholes, all these legends, Ronaldo, all of these legends, Ferdinand. And now you've got Bruno Fernandes leading the lines, moaning at a referee because he bumped them a little bit. Mate, get your panties off the tangle and get to the game, mate, or send yourself to Saudi, because this is the English Premier League, mate. The English Premier League. This ain't the Kings League, mate. What is you doing? Doing all this tantrums, moaning. Just because he's the captain doesn't mean he has the right to moan all the time. He's moaning for anything. It's honestly shocking and a disgrace that he's ahead of Man United. And honestly, Man United, in the opinion of mine and many, you need to be developing the likes of Kobbie Mainoo over giving Bruno Fernandes minutes, because Bruno Fernandes can't even make his pen, and this kid is going to give you better work rates. You check the Smith Rowe goal, Bruno Fernandes is man. Breaks through the lines. That was his man. Lazy. Kobbie Mainoo, the young lad, he would have at least followed his man. Minimum. But anyways, make sure to leave a like and subscribe, leave a comment down below. Do you think Man United should sell Bruno Fernandes and give Kobbie Mainoo more minutes? Or what do you think Kobbie Mainoo should do? But anyways, thank you guys for watching.